In this video, yes, we're going to be talking about three major or four, I think 3 to 4 major expectations versus reality, like marriage culture shock that I have realized. Yeah. So if you're interested, let's dive right into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, what's up my G's? Thank you so much for returning. First cultural shock in marriage for me, I don't know, should we call it cultural shock, marriage shock, expectation versus reality for me is in terms of prayer life. I know, like, you weren't seeing that coming. Now this is it. As believers, my husband and I, like, we're believers, right? I realized that our prayer life is different, and I think that because we grew up in our head thinking, okay, a normal marriage should be wake up in the morning devotion with the children, everybody goes to work, goes to school. Like, it don't work like that. Especially like post-COVID, where people now have different schedule of working. Sometimes you're working remotely. My kind of job is different from my husband's kind of job. So like, let me tell you guys, at the beginning, right, in the mornings, like when we first got married, the first year, because we were both working like jobs that we had to get to early, so we used to wake up around 5, they're about to leave the house. It was easier. So I'll be praying and he will be praying, then we'll pray together. Like before we leave the house now, just husband and wife, thank you Father, then we go. Then maybe like on Saturday we now pray. But the thing is, in the beginning it was like, if I need to have my own normal, like before I got married, I used to have my normal prayer time in the morning, right? I have my normal prayer time in the morning, and he does his own prayer time. So the question now is, should we sacrifice our personal prayer time in the morning for family prayer time, or should we just pray on our own and we'll be praying later in the night? Like, it took a lot of rescheduling and understanding. Now in the beginning, that was the beginning, but towards having a child, changing jobs, different things, now our prayer life schedule is also still different. So it takes intentionality between the two couples to now say, I said two couples, between the husband and the wife to now say, okay, how are we going to do this our prayer life thing? So we had to come to the understanding that you don't have to do morning devotion together, like the way people always say that. And this is going to lead me to my next point, but let me finish this point. The whole dynamic is something that you have to understand that it's not like the way our parents did it. And I feel like our prayer life style is also different. So if you're someone that maybe you're used to praying in tongues, like, okay, you like to wake up in the morning, just soak it in, pray in tongues, enjoy worship, and your husband has to get to work before he leaves the house, like, it would just be, so you guys have to plan it well, like. So that's the expectation versus reality in terms of prayer life. Like, I didn't think about it. So when I entered, that I started to see that, oh, it's not the way I thought it would be. So yeah, have that in your head. You guys talk about it, like, what will our prayer life be like? So for we now said, okay, in the night. So we used to do nights now, night time. Like, okay, once we're done, like 10 p.m. we pray together, then we go to bed. Then Saturdays, the morning, right? So when children even come in, everything now even becomes like worse. So really, it's a lot. That's just what I have to say, because even Lagos is not helping. That's the truth. So this leads me to my second point, which is the issue of habits. So I also realized that there's an expectation, and these are salient points that people don't pay attention to, that people don't even know. It's when you enter that you know. The whole issue of habits, like, your partner has different habits that you have. So referring back to the prayer life thing, for someone like me, I'm not totally like a morning person, right? But I still prefer to wake up earlier than I like to sleep early. My husband is a night owl. So 2 a.m. is still awake, 3 a.m. is still awake. And this is something that even Pastor Mildred Okonkwo said, that she said that initially she always felt like she and her husband should pray together in the morning when they wake up, normal couple. But then her husband is someone that sleeps, he doesn't sleep in the nights. Someone that will wake up like 5 a.m. How will she pray with someone that is just going to bed 5 a.m. when she's waking up 5 a.m.? Do you see? So habits are so important. Like, it's something that I realized, like, it's expectation versus reality, like where people are thinking that you think that both of you will be waking up together, sleeping together, you think that both of you will be cuddling. Yes, in your first year, but by second year, third year, except you have the same kind of habit. But the moment you are two different kind of people. Like, one person likes nights. Like, some people are more productive in the night, some people prefer to stay up at night, do all their work, do everything, then, you know, but some people, they like their sleep. So someone like me, if it's not like holiday period, I feel like, why are you staying up to watch a movie? Is the movie worth it like that? Like, why? I watch it during the day. I'm not one of those people that likes to watch movie in the night. It's unnecessary. Like, why are you sacrificing your sleep? But someone like my husband, he can watch a whole season film in the night. These are the issues. So in your own head, you're like, when is he coming to bed? But he is in the sitting room like, I am enjoying this movie. Do you see? Expectation versus reality. Other habits, like, for example, we've heard of people that say, oh, I like to press toothpaste in the middle, I like to press toothpaste at the end. What is the big deal? These are the issues. So you have to just get to that point where you're managing the expectations. So yes, you may have expectation of something, like what you expected the person to do or the habits that the person has, but you also have to get to the point that you know, scripture says that love covers all wrongs. Love does not remember, right? So I think that when we all come to that point where we're like, okay, I'm with this person, I love the person, you will now have to say that it doesn't matter. These things are small things. We can walk through it, right? We can work through it. You don't have to now say, oh, I can't stand this man. He's very dirty. He's very or this woman, she doesn't know how to comb her hair. She doesn't do. No. Instead of complaining, we can decide to, you know, meet at a meeting point. I think that really is it. So sometimes I stay up. I've stayed up very well with my husband to watch movie. And sometimes when I para and I say, babe, come and sleep, he would come into the room. But sometimes he sleeps off on the couch. Yes, so it's just about compromise and understanding that, okay, this is this person's personality, right? So that's one cultural expectation that I know that I faced in marriage, that I faced so far, that I've now realized that it's not that big of a deal. The third expectation versus reality that I'll say is the most popular one, sex. Yes, I know all of us have heard that, oh, married people don't have sex every day. Kiniko, don't deceive yourself. I think we hear it, but we still don't believe it until we see it by ourselves. Like, when you hear married couple that say, oh, because I know that I heard people that were married tell us that people don't have sex every day, we'll be calming down, it's not, don't marry for sex, that kind of thing. Yeah, they told us, to be honest. It's not something that they did not tell us, they told us. But I don't think we digested it. It's when you enter, you'll not be like, it's true what they said. So, or in your head, you're like, no, that will not be me. Especially if you like waited before you got married. In your head, you're like, no, that will not be me. Me and my mother, we do it, scatter everywhere. But, oh my God, you guys, especially when the first child comes, after the first child comes, everything changes. Everything, like, you need to be intentional to actually have a great sex life as a married couple, especially in Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, Lagos is moving mad. Because think about it, now somebody goes to work 5 a.m, comes back 9 p.m. He gets home, he eats, he takes a bath, he's tired, he's exhausted because he has to wake up 4 a.m. tomorrow again. Tell me, when are people going to have time to talk about or even do it? Think about it. So for me, the cultural shock in the sex part is not even the fact that they told us, oh, you can't do it every day. It's the fact that many things actually hinder you from doing it. Like you yourself, that you thought that you'd be the tiger. You're the one that will be saying, I'm tired. You don't know, say, So all those ones, like when I see like videos where people are saying, oh, women, stop saying you're tired every time. but they are tired now. Don't you understand? It's hard work. I've also learned that sometimes you actually do it for the pleasure of your partner, not for you. So sometimes you just like, this person has tried, let me just help his life. And he too, there are times when he will do it. He's tired because you touched him, and he can see that his wife is feeling somehow. Let me just do it. That's what I realized. That like not every act of sexual pleasure comes from what you really want to do. Sometimes it comes from a duty and obligation. And I know some people are going to roll their eyes and say, no, maybe that's not your reality, but that's what me I have seen. And conversations that I've had with some married women, that's what they've said. That sometimes they do it as obligation and duty. And this is not like only you doing that obligation every time. Hey, that's another conversation entirely. I'm talking about, you've seen mutual, it has happened mutually. So sometimes the husband is doing it as obligation and duty. Even if he's tired and not in the mood, he will still do it just because he knows that his wife wants it at that time. And that is marriage, sacrifice and compromise. So that's what I've also learned in that aspect, that people sometimes just give it in for the pleasure of their partner, not for their own pleasure. It's not every time that it will be for your own pleasure, but sometimes it will be great. And what we learned in Nollywood is not true, okay? That you just carry the girl on the chair, but not on the table. Scatter the table, boom. Oh, no dear. No. That will happen in honeymoon, but not in your house. Why will you spoil your television or your things? So you scatter laptops, So yes, no, don't bother. That one doesn't happen. Well, if you want to scatter things in your house, no problem, you can do it. You can do it if you want. But yeah, I think that's one thing again that I've also learned about, sex in the marriage bed. Yeah. So my final point I want to touch on, there are so many expectation versus reality check for me, really, but these ones are like the ones that I've realized that people don't really talk about, but that is very, very predominant, like I have noticed. So you guys, I would like to know what your thoughts are. Which culture shock, which expectation versus, if you are married, comment below and tell me, or if you live with a married couple, comment below and tell me which ones you can say that it's true, and which one you can relate with that I did not talk about. But my final point will now be family relations. So before you get married, you're thinking, oh, it's just my husband and I. It is not true, okay? Especially in a country like Nigeria and a continent like Africa, we are married to our families. We are not just married to the man, or you're not just married to the woman. You're married to the family of the woman and the family of the man. And this is a reality that we have to talk about. Don't think that, because you married only her, then that's it. Like, I remember that before we got married, they'll tell you that don't let family members come and live with you. And that is true in a way, especially in your first, second year of marriage. It's a good idea not to, so that you guys are bonded more and there's more. But then there are situations that will happen that people may have to come stay with you. You cannot stand on the hill and say no. For example, let me give you an example now. You have a sister. Let's say you were the woman. You have a sister. Your parents live in, say, Adeoye. Then you have a sister that got admission in school very close to your house, like 15 naira to your house. Like, I'm talking very, very close to your house. Like, let's not even say 15 naira. Like, the school is in your backyard, like university, and then she has to come to Lagos, and your parents are not really good. So let's say your sister is very brilliant, so she got into the school, and then in that period she couldn't get hostel. So for that first semester, she needs to resume somewhere. Are you going to say, oh, because they say we must not have anybody in our house, your own sister will not live with you? It's not possible. So the only thing you can now say is, I know some people might say, okay, let's go and rent apartments for her, but I think it will be somehow, to be honest, at least let her stay with you first year, then by the next semester you can now say, okay, let's work towards, you can't stay here permanently, and that's fine. So sometimes some things that they told you in marriage counseling may not hold, not all the time, many of it holds, but like in terms of family relations, you have to get wisdom with dealing with family relations. You have to get wisdom with your partner dealing with his own family, and you two dealing with your own family. So when I see all those tweets where people say, oh, a man bought a car for his mother before he bought for his wife, is it good? Like, you guys don't get it. It's a very, very complicated situation. And I know that we say, okay, as a man, your wife comes first, and a woman, your husband comes first, and that's the truth. But the fact is, you have to also make room for your partner's familiarity with his family. He has known them longer than he's knowing you, and you have known your own family too longer than you have known them. So it's taking you a lot to shift into your new positioning that, okay, my partner is coming first. So yes, normally your partner should come first, but the family dynamics that can shake up, So the solution to this one is just always praying for wisdom. I think that's it for me. Wisdom, because there are many expectations that will be shaking versus the reality that you had in your head, or there are many expectations you had in your head that will be shaking versus the actual reality that you're seeing on ground, and it's something that is a fact. It's just what it is. So you guys, I'm going to wrap it up like this and say that in all these things, number one, remember that love covers all wrongs. Remember that you love this person and you chose this person, so make room for their excesses. Number three, don't have unhealthy expectation. Don't have overly optimistic expectations of any human being. They cannot give you joy. God is responsible for giving you joy. Okay, as a believer, rest in knowing that God is your source of joy, not that man, not that woman, right? Then another thing I'll say is, please forgive people's excesses. Forgiving. Then having a lot of wisdom to deal with many things that happens. But you guys, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Tell me, what are your thoughts? Also, if you have any topic or any question, like you want to ask me a question that you want me to talk about on my channel, please leave a comment below and I will get to it. Alright guys, see you in my next video. Remember to subscribe, like, and also share. Bye guys.